Aloha and ahoy, you swashbuckling artists! Thank you for dropping anchor on Art Island. Today, we are going to be making our own pirate treasure maps. So we're going to need a few art supplies for this project. The first is a brown paper bag, any size. Now, if your bag has some writing on the outside, no problem, you can use the inside. You're going to need a black drawing tool. So for me, I'm using a pen, but you could use a black colored pencil. You're going to need something to color with. So for me, I'm using color pencils today, and I highly recommend that. I'm using watercolor pencils just because I like the way they look. And you're going to need a circle to trace. So we're going to get started, but first, you're going to walk the plank into this commercial break.
New Lego Pirates. The fun just keeps building.
Welcome back, me hearties. Let's get started. If you guys see here, I took my brown paper bag and I cut it up just so that it is a rectangle piece of paper. What we're going to do first is you're going to use your hands and we're going to rough up those edges a little bit. So if you use your scissors and it didn't turn out even, that is okay. Because right now I am purposely ripping just the edge of my paper because I don't want that straight line. Notice how I hold part of it down. That way I don't rip too much of my page. And I get a little bit more control that way. So again, you do not want a perfectly rectangle piece of paper. We want our treasure maps to look old. Make sure that when you are done ripping, that these scraps make it to the trash. You do not want to leave your mess everywhere. All right, we have our paper. Okay, so the next thing you're going to need to grab is your black writing tool. So for my first example, I use this black pen, but for this one, I think I'll change it up a little bit and use a black color pencil. I'm going to grab my circle to trace, and I'm going to actually use the bottom of this cup because I don't want my circle to be too big. What we're going to be making first is our compass rose. So what tells us where north, south, east, and west are? Because that is very important to include on your map. That way you know where to go. All right, so that's the start of my compass rose. Let's add a little bit of detail to it. I'm going to add a smaller circle in the middle. And next, I'm going to put some directional arrows. So top, bottom, side to side. And if you see, my arrows actually go past that first circle. I want them to overlap a little bit. Just a nice little detail that you can add. You don't have to do this step. But a lot of the times with this part of the compass rose, people color in half of that triangle. And sometimes they even add a few extra spikes. If you don't want to add that extra detail, that is okay. Because the most important thing you need to do is label your compass. So the way I learned it, it goes, never eat soggy Wheaties. North, east, south, and west. East, south, and west. All right, that's all we need to do for our compass rose. The next thing we're going to do, I'm going to go down to the opposite corner here, so way down here, and we're going to make our legend. So our legend is important because it's going to be our key or guide to kind of tell us what the things on our map mean. So for me, I know on my island, I'm going to have a few mountains. So I'm just going to make like a really simple picture of what mountains could be. So that's what that picture is. And I'm just going to quickly write what that means. Okay. On my island, I'm going to have a few trees. Now you don't have to copy my legend today. If you want something different on yours, that is awesome. So I'm just drawing a few quick pictures here. So I have mountains, trees, an X to mark where my treasure is, and a little house to show where people might live on my island. So after you guys make a few simple pictures of things that you're going to put on your island, remember you have to label them so that way people know what they mean. I'm just going to draw a quick little box around it. And I'm actually going to leave that there because it looks like part of my box, part of my legend, got ripped off. And that's okay. It's an old treasure map. All right, so this part is my favorite part, actually creating the island. So this is my favorite part because you can just make it up as you go. Our island is going to be an organic shape, so it's all kind of wonky. I have no real plan for my island. Each island I draw is a bit different. But notice how I'm just kind of taking that wiggly line. Oh, this is a wiggly island. Going all around to make that crazy, wonky, organic shape. All right, I have my island drawn, but before I add my details, I'm actually going to add a few little islands, a few little pieces around my island here. Again, I'm using those random, organic, wonky shapes. I think we need one more up here. All right, that is a beautiful island. So what I'm actually going to do next is I'm going to use my legend, so I know I need to include some mountains, trees, a treasure, and a few places for people to live. I'm just going to draw those all around my island. Here's my X. I'm going to add a few mountains up here. There needs to be an island down here too. Or a mountain. I'm going to have a little village right by the beach. That's where I want to live. Maybe there's another little area. And again, this is your island. Maybe you want to do different details on yours. It's really what you want to create. Let's see. Oh, and I need some trees. So because this is an island, I'm doing a simple design that looks a little bit more like a palm tree. But you can draw any kind of tree that you want. If your island does have trees, maybe it doesn't. Maybe your island has mermaids on it. Or maybe you want to include some sharks. In fact, I think I might add, just as a little detail, some shark fins in the water. Put a little shark up there too. Every shark needs a friend. I'll do one more. All right. Oh, almost forgot. Every good treasure map has you follow a path. So I'm going to take a dotted line going around my island that ends right at my treasure, right there. So you can make your path as crazy as you want. It's your map. So what I'm gonna do next, now you can decide if you wanna keep it simple like this, just have it be your drawing. What you could do is, again, with your colored pencils, you can add a little bit of color detail. Now I say a little bit, just because you don't want to go too overboard with this. I'm just adding little touches of color here and there, like my X for the treasure, just so you really see it right away. I'm going to add some green to my palm leaves. That way they read a little bit more as trees. I'll take some blue, and I'm going to add just a little bit of blue around my island to really show that it's surrounded by water. You get a little bit of a better idea of where it is. Again, if you see, I'm not coloring in my whole background blue, just around my island here. It's just a little nice detail. For me, it's a little easier to move my paper around when I color, just so I know I can get all those little places that I want. Okay, I think for now I'll stop there for my color. Now again, you can decide if you want to leave your pirate map just like this. That way you can see all your nice details, all your nice color. Something that I like to do, and it can be a little bit nervous to do this, is I can take my pirate map and crumple it up because I want it to look like it's old, that it's been hiding for a while. Like someone wrote this map ages ago for you to find it. So I crumple it, I smooth it out, I crumple it again. And you can do this a few times. It kind of helps the paper get a little softer, I would say. And really take some time smoothing out your map. So again, if you want your pirate map to look old and withered, it's seen a few years, I really recommend giving it a little crumple, and do that a few times. And there you go. I hope you scallywags enjoyed making this project at home. Please make sure that whatever you make, take a picture of it, send it to either me or your teacher. That way we can all see your creativity. Thank you for sailing to Art Island. Aloha, and until we meet again.
Arr, let's find that treasure.